Mikel Arteta is worried about Chido Obi Martin ahead of Arsenal's visit to Old Trafford tomorrow in the English Premier League. He has spoken about him and Aiden Heaven in the official pre-match press conference. And guys, clearly, if you read between the lines, Arteta was undone by Man United being able to lure such a prospect, a hot prospect, to, if I would call it that, to join Man United, leaving them and turning down their contract proposal. Yet they made him. Subscribe, like, and share, and let's get into this talk. It's pretty much there, ladies and gentlemen. You can drop down a comment and let me know where exactly you will be catching this game from. Will you be at home? I will be watching it with an Arsenal guy and another Man United fan, and we will be live on Ndibayoka. On a watch along, so certainly make a date with us on that channel. It's Ndibayoka Live. That's on YouTube. Now, guys, so Mikel Arteta speaks in his pre-match press conference, and he speaks about Chido Obi Martin, and he waxes lyrical about him, talking about how this boy is good inside the box, how he's always keeps himself in front of goal and inside the box, and he can pull up anything. And it's painful that they didn't keep him because they always want to keep their best young players, the young players that they mold and groom from the academy. So him and Aiden Heaven choosing to take another career path. It was their decision. By the way, it's the players who wanted to leave. Arsenal wanted to keep them, but they chose to move on. Now, guys, the gods of football can just be stubborn in a way. Have you thought about it that actually Chido Obi Martin, who I certainly think is going to play against Arsenal, will get a couple of minutes, might even start, honestly. Have you thought about it that he could score his first Man United goal against his former employer in his first meeting against them? I think that would be the ultimate story to scribble down the annals of football for years and years to come. It would be such a beautiful story to talk about. When you talk about young players, there's always a story to a young player and how they come on the scene, they break onto the scene. For Chido Obi, he hasn't quite done it yet. I mean, he hasn't scored that first goal for Man United. He hasn't got off to a flying start. You would say he has just shown signs in the few minutes he's played at Man United. But the ultimate dream for any United supporter out there, for himself, and perhaps what would be a nightmare for any Arsenal fan, is Chido scoring against them his first Premier League goal. And it might be happening tomorrow, guys. It's extremely possible. For some unsound reason, I've got this confidence in me that Chido could be the guy who shocks Arsenal, either gets us that point or even a W against the Gunners tomorrow. That's just how football is. In fact, certain people say, I know so many people who say football is scripted. What better script than that if Chido scores against Arsenal? But the thing is, currently, with the focus on and scrutiny, of course, Man United is fully scrutinized. Everyone in United, every player knows they're scrutinized, but there is perhaps a little more scrutiny on the forwards, on the strikers. Now, the beauty is that in the last game, Zagzi, who is a forward, scored a goal. Ideally, for me, this should come with a bit of more confidence to the forward players, which has been lacking in them. And if the confidence is there, anyone can turn up and score a goal. Scoring a goal is just about having the confidence. That's all you need to score a goal. So with Chido, I'm thinking it actually comes at the right time for him after, I mean, the outfield, the forwards of United have feeling themselves a little bit after the Zagzi goal. That's one. In fact, Zagzi himself spoke about it and alluded to how important it is for him to score this goal after so many games of not even coming close. But also for Chido, Arsenal coming at a time when he has played a few minutes and perhaps low-key jailed with his teammates and also a bit calmed himself into the senior team, because if you've just arrived, imagine if this game came 2 weeks ago when Chido had barely kicked a ball with the senior team and then he has got to come on against Arsenal. It perhaps would be a little too early on him. My feeling is that this is quite a better timing for him. So everything around this game for me points to one thing, that there could be a whole different motivation for everyone. Chido against his former employers, Zagzi scored in the last game, Rasmus Højlund, if he starts ahead of Chido, which could be the case, and Chido comes on from the bench. But again, for Højlund, feeling less pressure now because Zach is scored, perhaps might want to come put himself in good positions in the previous game, only for Dalot to deny him a chance for a tap in. So everything around the game for me, regardless the result and the injuries and the current lean squad that we have, everything else for me psychologically can work in favor of Man United. But also, whereas United is always jittery at Old Trafford, the fact is, the fact is, there will be a bit of belief and less pressure on United players because honestly, we are the underdogs coming into this game. Look at the situation of of the two teams, Man United and Arsenal. Clearly, Arsenal just pummeled someone 7 goals to 1 in Europe in the Champions League. Clearly, the pressure is on Arsenal. It's Arsenal's game to lose despite it being at Old Trafford. So United are the underdogs, a tag that looks good on Man United. United love to come out of the blocks as underdogs because then there is no pressure. When there is no pressure on these players, they can turn up. So for me, I'm looking to see that in the first minutes of the game, Man United players compose themselves. If they are comfortable, and also given the fact that in the last game meeting between the two teams in the FA Cup, 10 Man United ejected Arsenal. That's again more belief in these players. Let the pressure be on Arsenal because if they fail to beat Man United, even a draw for United would feel like a win. If Arsenal fail to beat Man United, pressure on Mikel Arteta, more scrutiny on him, a lot of flack will be thrown at him. Certainly, he will have a lot more to answer than it would be for Man United. So that alone, for me, works in favor of United because the underdog tag always works for Man United because of the lack of pressure as they play. Of course, being at Old Trafford, that natural pressure at OT will always be there. But the bigger one, I think, is really, really on Arsenal. So that's the game. 7:30. It will be the kickoff. It's going to be one of those, different games. Doesn't matter who is on the pitch. For Man United and Arsenal, the psyche is always on. Amorim will be hoping he can push. He has concentrated a lot on this game. He loves big games. These are the big games he wants to prove himself as a good manager. So imagine if Amorim beats Arteta now in this situation, stories are going to change. I mean, there will be different stories to talk about, to scribble about this game. So there is a lot for Man United to believe and push for a W against the Gunners. But Chido, for me, I'll tell you my prediction even before I get into a proper match preview, which I'll do later. I'll tell you Chido could be the surprise. It's football. It's scripted by someone unknown, by some unknown power. And I'll tell you there is no better script than Chido scoring against Arsenal in the last minutes of the game, coming off the bench and has the last kick, which is a goal to give Man United the win at home and send Old Trafford into frenzy. What a dream. But can it come true? Let me know what you think. Subscribe, like, and share. And let me catch you later, fam.